quarterback Josh Jacobs gives himself up at the 1-yard line, leads to the Raiders choosing to go for a field goal. That means there's 23 seconds remaining on the clock. So they hit the 22-yard kick. It's good.
Okay, they got Fitzy.
19 seconds left here. Dan Orlovsky, Mac Hollins, 36 yards, and the 15-yard penalty. The YOLO throw from Fitzy.
Just in case you guys didn't see it, I'm going to show. I mean, how he gets that throw off, I have no idea. And then he confirms it with the officials. This guy ripped my face off.
And there's Jason Sanders. He's been money all year from 44 yards up. The kick is up. It's good. The Dolphins are potentially into the playoffs. And here's Tua.
I know outsiders are probably going to say, well, it wasn't you in there that brought the win. Of course, it was Fitz, and I think it was a great effort by not just him, but the entire offense. You know, they call him Fitz Magic for a reason.
I have a lot of confidence in Tua. He's made a lot of plays for us this year. He made plays today. We just felt like we needed a spark. You know, Fitzy gave us that, but we have a lot of confidence in Tua. We'll be better next week.
All right, so Tua is the starter again in Week 17, a game in which the Dolphins need to have Dan Orlovsky. Yeah. Do you trust this move by Brian Flores to stick with his starter, being Tua as the starter?
Yeah, I trust Brian Flores as much as I trust any coach in the NFL.
Yeah, same.
I mean, he's earned that. Like, he has 100% earned that. I've got two thoughts on this. Like, I've heard a lot of people go, well, what is this going to do to Tua's confidence? Listen, confidence in the NFL as a player gets shaken when there's gray area, when there's unknown, when there's poor communication from the coach that's kind of handling what he does with you. That's not the case in Miami. There's a lot of black and white here between Brian Flores and Tua. Hey, you weren't playing well enough. You weren't handling that situation well enough. We went to another guy and it worked out to our football team. And the last thing I will say is this. Brian Flores making the decision to make these quarterback moves is courageous and confident. The confidence he displays in it, that's cool. What's more impressive to me is when he makes that move to Tua or to Ryan Fitzpatrick, the confidence and the belief and the courage that even if it doesn't work out, I won't lose my locker room. Mm-hmm. That's what's more impressive, that he believes that that's the right thing. And even if it doesn't work out, the team trusts in him. That to me speaks of an all-in organizational trust in Brian Flores, and he's absolutely earned that.
D.O., that's a hell of a thought, but you dope at what you do, so I expect that. I'm going to go and really focus this on Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick. You better know the makeup of your young rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
You better understand his mentality more so than probably the locker room, because at some point Tua is going to be the leader of this organization, and it's because of what he's been through. It's the way Tua was raised by his family. It's the way he's played football, and it comes from the Alabama program that he played with in college and playing for Nick Saban. And yes, we could gush about Nick Saban and talk about a lot of things that he's done successfully, but when you think about how that is run, he was my coach in college. It's run really similar to what they do in the pros. If you're not getting the job done, we're going to find somebody that can do that job better. Does that mean you're lost for the rest of the way? No. But he has that opportunity to know that beforehand knowledge. He was the beneficiary of making a quarterback change in college, so he understands and his mind is right about what Flores is doing.
Marcus, I agree with you that Tua is mentally strong. He does not need to be babied. He's not some precious hothouse flower. I have no concerns about his long-term development. Dan, I agree with you that what Brian Flores did is courageous, bold. Clearly he has the locker room. But it's not logical. That's my issue with this. Because if he believes, as he apparently does, that Ryan Fitzpatrick is better in the fourth quarter, that he is able to push the ball downfield or willing to in a way that Tua is not, which is true, then why doesn't he believe he's better in the first quarter? Like, that's not how football works. Ryan Fitzpatrick, quarterbacks in general, he's not a piece of pie. You don't have to wait until the end of the game to take a bite. If you have conviction in his ability to elevate the offense, you should have conviction in his ability to do so at the beginning of the game, especially if you're focused right now on winning games. There's no reason for him to constantly switch back and forth between these quarterbacks, as much as I love everything else he's done with that organization.
I completely disagree with that. Here's the thing. The strength of the football team is their defense. Ryan Fitzpatrick is known for a lot of things. His flaw is being a little careless with the football, right? Reckless with the football. So you don't want that it's easy to go into the fourth quarter and go, all right, we're down. I'm playing with house money. Here I can come save the day, and I can make these daring, courageous throws, right? These throws that, like, you fit them into tight windows. You don't want that in the first quarter because that might become a turnover or two, and then you've taken away the strength of your defense. This is why they're in the best of both worlds, right? I always say this, young quarterbacks that get forced to play early, they've got the burden of developing, but also winning football games. Those can't happen without development first. Tua doesn't have to have that burden of, like, man, I got to really win this football game right now. Fitzy is the guy that's able to go in there and do it when it's needed.
Let me respond to that. So then, okay, I understand what you're saying about Tua being more risk averse and being sort of playing such complementary football, right? But if you want Tua to be that young quarterback, you also want him to learn how to come from behind, overcome adversity, and push the ball about down the field. And if you take him out of the game before he has the opportunity or he's compelled to do that, is that good quarterback development?
But I think they've done that a couple times this year. Like, we've seen Tua get hot in two different separate occasions in the second half where it has happened. I actually heard Tua the other day say, like, it was really good for me to realize sometimes I can't go 1 to 2 to 3, that we're not holding up, or I got to get rid of the ball sooner and I got to give some guys chances. That is such a benefit to be able to, like, experience it rather than just sit back and watch it.
Well, even if it's unconventional, it seems to be working right now. As you can see, the Dolphins are now one of 5 teams vying for 4 playoff spots in the AFC. The Titans, Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns all control their own destiny in Week 17. They get in with a win or potentially a loss by another team. The Colts need to win and have one of those other 4 teams slip up with a loss. And so do we trust those win and in teams? Mina, let's be quick here with quick reads. I'll start with you and the Browns.
Yeah, so obviously coming off a very dispiriting loss, I'm going to throw out what we saw in the Browns offense, given all the players they were missing. But the pass defense is concerning. They need safety Ronnie Harrison back because of that position.